You're gonna have a wonderful day today.
Thanks, buddy.
You're so terrible on the eyes. I don't know why I share a bed with you.
Hit me in the nose with a golf club?
I didn't think it would hurt that bad.
Alex, what do you want?
I want my money, that's it, bro.
You got it.
We have got to go right now.
Okay, go, baby, go, 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 go.
What's going on?
I was kind of involved in bank robbery. When I got into witness protection, I knew I wasn't going to be that guy anymore.
You're a bank robber?
I did the getaway driving part.
Who are you?
Zanny's in here. Debbie, I don't need to take it. If you mix it with wine or beer, it sort of supercharges it.
I clocked you at 127 miles per hour.
I'm a U.S. Marshal. I've got someone in witness protection who needs my protection.
Do you think it's safe to say that you shouldn't be driving at NASCAR speeds?
Oh, I didn't know what to, I have no idea.
Oh, you no idea.
I buried something that Alex wants.
We were best friends and you betrayed me. All right, let's go.
Hey, come out here!
What are you looking at,
no,
bro?
Come on, this wrong room, come on.
That's disgusting. You can't outrun me.
What the? What are you doing, Randy?
Nothing!
I look out my window, you're ghost riding your van and blasting holes and everything?
Mom!
You gotta be more careful.
Shut the up! I'm sorry, ma'am.
This whole thing happened really fast, and I'm sorry.
Except for completely lying about who you are.
You may have had 3 ways with dudes. I don't know.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
You owe me.
What are you talking about?
I was in jail for 8 months.
Whether you didn't like the gym equipment?
I got in prison because of you. Yeah.
I'm really, really sorry. Was it a black guy?
No, it wasn't a black guy.
Was it a Mexican guy?
No.
Was it one of those white guys?
Charlie?
It was Filipino! Solve your dilemma of a part of the world my ass traveled to?
So, Hit and Run looks like it was very fun to make. Describe the most memorable day on set.
The most memorable day was the day the Dax made me run. It's a lot of running for me. It was dusty, about 105 degrees, and I was running and shooting in my van over and over, and trying to operate a gun and get it out of my sock. And it was just it was funny because when I had a little surgery, and so I was a little unsure of myself, a little, thinking, can I do my own stunts? Can I do my own? And Dax immediately just made me do it. So I was very grateful because then after that I knew I was fine.
Stand park! You stand park or I will break you! Hear me?
Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing, Randy?
Nothing!
What do you mean nothing? I look out my window, you're ghost riding your van in the backyard, man. You're blasting holes and everything.
Shut the up, Charlie! I'm sorry, ma'am.
Another memorable day was the day I got to shoot somebody. And it's funny because we sort of planned it out, and we were, sort of running and gunning, and Dax had planned it. But after I shot him, they said, I don't know, what do I do now? Run around to the front of the car. I knew there was a camera in the car, just kind of shooting the guy getting shot. And but I sensed where the lens was and did a silly thing out on the hood of the car, which is in the movie, because I was so excited I'd shot somebody. Doesn't make any sense, but it will if you see it. Maybe the most exciting day was the day that Dax jumped his own, I don't know what kind of car you call it. It's like a giant dune buggy. It's all souped up. And he crashed that through a barn. Remember, we had stunt guys, and we had a good stunt coordinator. But we also had a lot of guys that think they can drive, that think they're professional drivers, like Dax. And I'm sure Dax is an amazing driver. But there's some hard stuff going on. He's jumping his car over my van and people. And I thought to myself, this is where it goes wrong. This is where something can happen. Because I was like, what do I do with the car? I don't know, would it would run that way or run this, whatever. So it was kind of exciting because I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know if this his car was going to crash on top of my van or the police car or whatever. And I don't think anybody did. So it was I had a little excitement. You know, if you do a lot of movies, and I've been in a lot of movies, sometimes when things go wrong, you know, and that's part of me being a comic too. When things go wrong, it's the funniest. Not that I wanted to see people crushed by a car, but, you know, I could see something funny happening at that time, and it ended up working out great and everything. But I could just sense that not everybody knew everything. You know, they hadn't thought out all the possibilities. Maybe they had. Maybe it's me. But that was exciting.
So a lot of people don't know this about you, but you're also a writer.
Mm-hmm.
And you not only wrote on Roseanne for many years, but you wrote The Kid and I.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if you're still writing.
Yeah, I started in 1988 when I moved to Los Angeles. I came as a writer, and I had written stuff when I lived in the Midwest for comics, you know, jokes for their acts for The Tonight Show or whatever. And so, you know, I came out and the Roseanne show started, so became a writer. And since then, you know, I've had couple series of my own that I've written, and I've rewritten a bunch of movies, and I like doing that. And I've written a bunch of pilots, so I'm still doing that, and writing one for next year. And I really enjoy it. I think that writing, you know, in the back of your mind, you're always like, well, I'm going to have to create something for myself to work, you know. And I think with the way things are these days, you know, what I always tell young actors is learn to write, or just start writing, because eventually you do have to create your own work the way the business is going. And it's also nice to know when I get a script, when I say I'll do a movie, you know, I look at it and I go through it and I say, boy, this isn't really how I'd say that. And even, you know, I give a hard time with Jim Cameron, you know, a guy that knows what he wants so much, you know, let me ad lib a lot. Let me, you know, work on, you know, the script and make it a little bit more mine. And, you know, as long as I did it his way once. But I think that helps as an actor. You know your rhythms. And the number one thing I like to do is when I get a script and it has my dialogue is cut it down. Because writers tend to overwrite and you're repeating yourself. You're saying the same thing twice or whatever. And my thing is cut my stuff down. You see a lot of new actors like, I want as many words as I can have. But, you know, that just messes you up. You know, I was probably like that in the beginning because I like to talk so fast and say as many things as I could and add as many things as I could. I've seen movies where you could tell I did a movie called 9 Months with Hugh Grant, Julianne Moore, and Robin Williams. And there was a couple times when I see scenes in there, I was like, yeah, I could have trimmed that up just a little bit. I didn't have to get that last little jolt of words in there. But, you know, when you're having fun, that happens. But I'm also sure that every line I've ever taken out, I probably added something somewhere else. So it's not like I'm just being very generous.
You're not taking away lines for yourself.
Right. Probably not. In my head, I am. I'm helping. Because the thing is, and I'm also helping the other actors in my mind. Because if they aren't good, you know, if there's one bad actor or one bad performance, not a bad actor, then everything, it doesn't matter how great you are. It all sucks. So, you know, you get in, and I've been in 100 movies. Literally, it's crazy. And you get in there, and you may have a small part, may have whatever, but whoever it is, you try to work with whatever area you're in to make that go as well as you possibly can. And if it means helping other people or suggesting things in an appropriate way or taking their suggestions, you know, because it's really your job is to, you know, when you're a guy like me, it's a character actor, your job is to make whatever you can better. I mean, that's your whole job. You can't do everything, but to make not only your moments, but the peripheral moments better if possible. And I'm also, now that I think about it, for when I know they're young actors, I'm not aggressive, but I will. A lot of people won't say anything, and I'll suggest things. You know, I better try it this way. And I noticed that, you know, when you're doing independent films, you're moving pretty fast. And a lot of times you don't have time to say to the director, hey, I got an idea. Is it okay if I run it by you? Just, you know, sometimes there's a little bit of respect there, and you know, say, hey, why don't we try it this way? And then you know, say that at the end, you know, or just cut that up a little bit. There, you hit the joke before that, so you know. And I see the look. The kids, if they're young kids, so they're in their 20s or whatever, they're scared because there's a director. But you know, it seems to work pretty well.
Okay. Well, you have been in the business for a long time, and I'm wondering if you were given free rein to make any changes, what changes would you make?
You know, changes in our business, this business. Well, I think that when I started, there was probably more of a middle class in this business as far as actors, as far as salaries, as far as everything. I mean, it's always been a star-driven business, whether it be TV or film. But I think that there's, you know, with the financial times, things got crunched up, and the studios had an excuse. They could say, "Hey, look at the financial stuff." But now, you know, working for a giant corporation now that makes billions of dollars, and the profits are up, and it seems like they're still sticking to the old plan. And something I've noticed that people do, they didn't used to do this. This is just like in the last 2 or 3 years. But they'll say, you know, we're shooting an independent film, so we'd like you to come in and work for scale. You know, everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing it. And, you know, I did that a couple times, and I noticed that they sold those to television, you know, and maybe they're a holiday theme, something, and you think it's going to be a little indie, but they've already made a deal with Hallmark or ABC Family. So, and when you do, if you do a movie with Hallmark or ABC Family and you star in it, you know, you used to get paid. You know, the good thing about doing these smaller films, though, is you gave the same quality performance in 2 weeks that you used to take 3 months to do. So there's a lot of positives. And even though it's less money, you can do 26 movies a year. Not you, but if you wanted to. I think that's what the producers think. Hey, you can still do, you know, instead of doing 1 a year, now you get to do 26 for less money. It's not all about the money, obviously, you know, and that's why I write and do stand-up comedy and other things.
Name a hidden talent that most people may not know you possess.
I'm a good softball player, and I've won the MVP at Rock and Jock. They used to have this thing, and the Hollywood All-Star Game. And part of that's because I play in a celebrity team, and celebrities suck at sports. So, like, the best celebrity is like the worst regular person. But, I fancy myself a singer. And when I was young, I played in a country rock band, played drums and sang. Dax Shepard still has my drums. He needed them for his audition for Parenthood. He never gave them back. They're good drums too, but he can, as long as he's on that show, we can hold on to him.
If you were to say, I never miss an episode of...
I never miss an episode of Modern Family or Nurse Jackie. Kind of two sides of the, you know, I like Parenthood, Dax, obviously, but I don't, I love those shows. And they use Universal. I mean, people, pretty much everybody loves those shows. Mitt Romney loves Modern Family, and so does Barack Obama. There you go.
That says it all.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't really say it all. I wish it did.
So your friend and fellow actor, Dax Shepard, was at the helm of Hit and Run. How is that different from other experiences that you've had?
Well, with other experiences with Dax, how was it different? He was my best man. He was a great best man, very organized. In the movie, we'd done a little movie that he did called Brothers Justice, this little funny, little silly thing. And you know, all of us, all the guys that were in it did that. And he shot that over a period of 3 or 4 years, you know. And so it was fun to watch him, you know, try to direct and put this little movie together, and did a nice job. This time, you know, we had a script, which was different, and Dax had written it. And so he'd written a great part for me, you know. I mean, it was a fun, great part. The thing that makes him different, I don't know that all directors are so excited to be there. And he just was a burst of energy and he loved every aspect of it. And it was, some of it was uncomfortable because we were on the road. You had somebody over here and somebody over here, and a lot of moving pieces. And he was comfortable. I've seen more experienced directors have much more problems than Dax had. So, and plus I come out, when I go out there to work, you get our little mini trailer with 2 other dudes that are supposed to be in there with you, and come out of there like grumpy, and Dax would be like fired up, and he'd be like, "You hate this, don't you?" No, I hate this. I like the other part where we're out actually doing something. It's everything around it I hate today. But he was, I was totally. I think the thing that you need the most from a actor is respect, and I felt that we all had that. And Dax is, he's a type A personality, and I know him very well, and he knows everything. Let me tell you this right now. Dax Shepard knows everything, and he'll tell you that. But he's also very capable of listening to what, I saw several times we discuss things with, we had some discussions. He discussed things with Bradley Cooper, with the other guys, just to make sure everybody, and he wasn't like, okay, we're sticking to my exact idea, which, I've worked with Jim Cameron before. I know what that's like, We'll do it my way first, but I think everybody also really loved Dax and wanted to support him, because this wasn't, a big payday for anybody, including Dax. And so our goal is to get it done and then get lucky and get distribution, which is what happened. So we feel really good. And plus, when I see the movie, I know what he shot it for, and it's pretty amazing. It looks like a much bigger movie.